Hello friends and welcome to my new video. Today I'll be talking about 10 of my favorite films, and all these films have one common element about them, which is all of these films have a twist in the end. I'll be talking about 10 films which are a mix of English and Hindi movies, all of them having this common thread of a twist. And the twist is such that it takes the viewer completely by surprise when it comes in the movie. So the first film I want to talk about is this wonderful film by Bryan Singer. It came out around 95 or 96, I think, and it's called The Usual Suspects. And it's a fantastic movie. It's a movie about 5 people who get rounded up as the usual suspects for a truck heist, and as they are in jail, they plan something much bigger than just a truck heist. And during this daring robbery which they plan, there is a lot of deceit and double cross and betrayal, which leads to a shocking climax when the truth is revealed. And it completely takes the audience by surprise that such a twist actually happened in the movie. It's one of the best thrillers you can see, and if you haven't, don't miss it. Please watch Bryan Singer's Usual Suspects. It's a fantastic movie. The next movie I want to talk about is a Hindi movie. It's a recent movie, and it's the Ajay Devgan Tabu starrer Drishyam. It's a movie about a simple man who runs a video parlor along with his wife and a young daughter. And what happens when something terrible happens to his family, and how far he will go to protect his family. That's what the movie is about. And there is an absolutely brilliant and clever twist in the end of the movie which takes the audience completely by surprise. Fantastic performance from everyone in the cast, including Ajay Devgan and Tabu. And if you haven't seen Drishyam, it's a must watch. The next movie I want to talk about is a film by David Fincher, and it's called Fight Club, starring Brad Pitt and Ed Norton. And it's this film about a white-collared executive who's bored and dissatisfied with his life, and he starts an underground fight club at night, to vent his frustrations and take out all the steam he has inside of him. And he takes the help of this soap salesman to start this club. And what looks like a very innocuous club of a few like-minded people turns into something very sinister, till the shocking climax when an absolutely unbelievable twist happens. It's a wonderful movie by David Fincher, and he followed, it's just a wonderful movie. I mean, see it if you haven't. Fight Club by David Fincher. I don't want to give you too much of the story because of the twist, but do watch it. You won't be disappointed. The next movie is another thriller made by Sujoy Ghosh, starring Vidya Balan and Parambrat and Nawazuddin, and it's Kahani, a fantastic movie shot in Calcutta. The story of this pregnant woman who comes from abroad in search of her missing husband, and the ordeal she goes through and the troubles she faces in her search for her husband until a shocking twist is revealed at the climax. And it's too shocking to even describe. You need to see Kahani to figure it out. The next movie is again an absolutely brilliant thriller made by Shyamalan, and it's called The Sixth Sense, starring Bruce Willis. And the title has quite a significant meaning, which you will realize when you see the movie. And again, the movie is going in one direction and one certain at a certain level, and then suddenly in the climax there comes this absolutely jolting twist which takes everyone by surprise, something that wasn't expected at all. And it just ends up being an absolutely brilliant movie. It's my favorite Shyamalan movie, The Sixth Sense. Do watch it if you haven't. The next movie I want to talk about is again a David Fincher film, and this is the movie he had, which I think brought him into the limelight, and it's the Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman starrer Seven. It begins as a thriller about a serial killer who's committing crimes based on the 7 deadly sins, and and the two cops who are investigating the case, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, are hot on his trails. But the climax is absolutely gripping, and the twist at the end is something you would never expect. You would never expect this twist. It's a wonderful movie, albeit a little disturbing. Seven, directed by David Fincher. The next movie I want to talk about, is perhaps the only movie in this list which is not a thriller. Normally we associate films with a twist at the end or a shocking revelation in the end, mainly with the thriller genre. But this one movie is this is the only exception actually in this list, which is not a thriller, and it's Raju Hirani's delightful Three Idiots. I'm sure most of you have seen Three Idiots and will remember and appreciate the wonderful twist about the identity of one of the protagonists in the movie. And for the first time when I saw it, it really took me by surprise, and I was absolutely gobsmacked that such a twist was thought of and executed in this movie. Beautiful movie, Three Idiots. The next movie I want to talk about is directed by Reema Kagti, who had earlier made Honeymoon Travels, which was a very nice movie. And this one is a thriller starring Amir Khan, Rani Mukherjee and Kareena Kapoor. And it's the wonderfully crafted and criminally underrated movie, Talash. And Talash, it starts off as a thriller. It starts off as a hunt for a serial killer and some unexplained deaths happening in the city. And it ends up with such a shock that the audience was completely stumped by the ending. The twist at the end was absolutely unexpected, and one couldn't see that coming. Wonderful movie. As I said, it's sadly underrated, but a beautiful movie, Talash. The next movie I want to talk about is a huge favorite of mine, and it has a twist and it has a shocker which no one could make out in the first viewing of this movie, and it's Vijay Anand's cleverly crafted film Jewel Thief. It's a movie which which takes the audience for a ride, and it's so cleverly done. It's so cleverly done that instead of feeling cheated, the audience actually enjoys being taken for the ride that they were in Jewel Thief. And talking about movies with hidden identities, I think Jewel Thief has got to be the best of all such movies. It's my personal favorite Vijay Anand movie, and it's one of the greatest movies with a twist in the end. Jewel Thief, starring Dev Anand, directed by Vijay Anand. The last film I want to talk about is personally my favorite movie from this list of movies with a twist in the end. It's generally regarded as one of the great movies of all time, directed by someone who's a legendary director. And when this movie first released over 60 years ago, it sent shockwaves, through the audience. People had never seen anything like this. People had never imagined anything like this, and it was just something which people were seeing for the first time, and it was shocking, and it was absolutely terrifying to see what they had seen on screen. And it was made, as I said, by one of the best directors in the world, Sir Alfred Hitchcock. And the movie is his absolutely fantastic Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates, and Janet Leigh and Vera Miles. Psycho is a movie which is in its own class. I don't think there are any movies which can be compared with Psycho and which can be put in the same league as Psycho. To elevate a movie from being merely a slasher movie, to take it to the level of Psycho, the kind of depth, the kind of texture, the kind of layers the movie has. I could have an entire video just talking about Psycho and its influence and its impact when it was first released. But what I really want to talk about today is the shocking twist Psycho introduced to the audience, and it was something which I think was never seen before that. And no matter how many times I've seen the movie, I still get shocked. That's the effect a great filmmaker like Hitchcock has on you, and that's the effect of a movie that has stood the test of time for over 60 years. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, simply brilliant. So these were my 10 favorite movies with a twist in the end. I hope you've liked the list, and I'm sure most of you all would have seen most of the movies I've mentioned in the list. But in any case, if you have missed out on some of these movies, no problem. They're all available either on the OTT or definitely in YouTube. Plus, the DVDs and Blu-rays of these movies are also easily available. So do watch them if you are a fan of thrillers, or if you are someone who likes to see movies which have a surprise ending and a twist in the ending. Do watch some of these movies. You won't be disappointed. That's all for this week. Until the next time, bye for now.